Hello friends, so how are you? So today we are solving this problem count sub island. Okay, so basically first of all we have to understand what the island. So basically two grids are given to us, grid 1 and grid 2, both of are same size m cross n, and we have to find how many sub islands are there in grid 2, sub islands of grid 1. Okay, so what we have to do is basically first of all let's understand what an island is. So island is like any cell, let's say whatever cell has one, that is actually the land. Okay, so for example, take this example, let's say we are at this cell, then we have to find that how many islands are there. So any island which is connected horizontal like this, there is a horizontal one, there is a right side horizontal one, then these guys also would be the part of same island. Okay, so these are also, now we are at this here, now see here right side there is another one, so this guy is also the part of this island only. Now see here, this is on top side, so this is also an island part. Now go to left side, there is one more one island, go to left side, there is one more one island. So we can go to either upside or below side or left side or right side, and if these guys are also one, then they would be part of same island. But remember, we cannot go to diagonally once, right? If let's say there was one here, right, then this would not be part of it because this is diagonally adjacent. Okay, so this would be island. Now we will check what is the sub island that we have to find here. So we understood what is the island. So for example, this is an island, right? Because all of them are horizontally or vertically connected. This is also an island. This is also an island. This is talking about grid 1, sorry. So this is our grid 1 and this is our grid 2. Let's say call it G2. Now what we have to do is we have to find the total number of sub island of this G1 in this G2. So what does sub island means is, let's say we are starting here. Whenever we find a 1, first of all we will check what all ones are there in this island. So if they are, this is 1, right? So we will go here on right side, right? This is also 1. Downward we cannot go because this is a 0. Now go to adjacent right, this is 1. Now we can go to right, we cannot go to right because this is 0. Now we can we can go to downwards, this is 1. Downwards it is 0, so we cannot go. Leftward it is 0, we cannot go. Right side it is 1, so we can go. This is also part of it. Then we can go to right side, right? This is also, but we cannot go downside, we cannot go downside, we cannot go upside. Now this is the, first of all, this is an island only of G2. Now we have to check whether this island is sub island of this or not. So how it would be a sub island? So if all the ones in an island of G2, if all the ones, there is a corresponding one in G1 also. For example, see here, there is a 1 for this cell, then here also a 1. If there is a 1, here also a 1. This is a 1, then here also a 1. Similarly for this as well. So all of them, for corresponding to all these ones, there is a 1 in G1. So we can say that this island is actually a sub island of G1. So we found one sub island here. And similarly, we will check how many sub islands are there for the same. So let's do a dry run of our approach. So guys, see here what we have done. We have created one Boolean array of 2D, same size like G1 and G2. This is a Boolean array having initially all of them would be false. So we will start from G2, okay, for very first row. Okay, so see here, whenever we are encountering a 1, okay, so at this one we will check whether is there the corresponding 1 or not in G1, that yes, there is a corresponding 1. Okay, so not a problem. Then we will go for the all directions, right? So see here we have 4 directions. So go to this, if we go to top, this is basically out of boundary, so we will not go. If we go to left, this is also out of boundary. If we go to down, this is 0, so we will not go here. We can go only to right direction. Okay, now we will check here, this is 1, right? So is there corresponding 1? Yes, there is a corresponding 1. Now we will check top we cannot go, down we cannot go because 0, top it is out of boundary, right left side it is already visited. So see here, whenever we visited here, we will make this as true. Okay, so we are making this as this cell is visited. Now here also we are at this one, so this also visited. Now we will go to here, only possibility is to come here, right? Top we cannot go, down we can go, right we cannot go because it is 0, down we can go, so it is 1, left we cannot go because this is already visited, right? So then what we will do, so this also visited, right? So we will make this guy also true. Okay, let's say I'm making all of them t. Okay, now we are at this location, right? We are at this location. Now we can only go to right direction, right? All others are 0. This is 0, this is also 0, and diagonally we are not supposed to go. So this is also visited. Now we will come here, so we will make this guy as visited. Okay, now we are at here, so where we can go, we can only go to right side, so this guy also visited. Now from here we cannot go anywhere, so this is also visited. I am making true. So this entire island and all of them, there is existing a 1 here. You can see here there is a 1, there is a 1, there is a 1. So now we can say this entire island is actually a sub island of this G1. So what would be count of our answer? So far our count would be 1, right? Only one sub island we have found, so C and T would be now 1. We will look for others. So now we will come this row. So this is 0, we cannot call on 0. This is 0, all others are already visited. See here, right? These all true. So we cannot go. Now we will come here. This is 0, so we will not call. Now we will come here. Is it visited? No, it is not yet visited. This is empty only, basically false. So we will check whether is there 1 correspondingly. No, there is no 1. So even though this guy is an island of size 1, but this is not our sub islands because there is a 0 corresponding, so this is not a sub island, so our count is still 1. Now we'll go here 0, 0, 0. So this guy is visited, right? This node. Yeah, so anyway, even if it is no sub island, we have to make this visited thing so that we don't have to again come back. So this is 0, 0, 0, we don't have to call it function. Now we are at here. Is it visited? No, it is not yet visited. So we will check, is there 1? Yes, there is a 1. So is there, can we move right side as a part of this island? No, this is 0, this is 0, up is already 0, left is out of boundary. So we can say we found 1 more island of size 1, so our count would be 1. We will make the corresponding this thing as visited. Okay, T. Now this is 0, so we will not call it. This is 1, so we will check, is there 1? No, there is no 1, there is a 0. So this will not our count will not increase because this is not island. But for all the corresponding things we have to make it visited, right? So that we don't have to call the function again. So see here, these things we will make it true. We will also make this guy true and also this guy as true, right? So now we are at here 0, we will not call function. This is 0, we will not call function. This is 1, so is there 1? Yes, there is a 1. Is there any other? No, all other direction. This is 0, this is 0, already visited, this is out of boundary, so only one size. So we will increase. We have found 1 more sub island. Now we will come here. This is 0, right? So we will not call function. This is 1, right? But this is already visited, right? If we cannot call this function because this T is already visited. So if it is already visited, we cannot call here function. Now this is 0, so we are done. So how many island we have? We have total 3 island, so 3 would be our answer. Now in our code we can either do this by using DFS or we can use the BFS. Okay, so in BFS we have to use a queue, or in DFS we have to use the recursive function, but I will use basically BFS because it is always preferred to use the iterative methods over recursive approach because sometimes they become less efficient. Okay, so let me explain my code. So as you can say, this is the direction for any ij. These are the up and right direction, right? We have all those four direction, up, down, left and right. So these are the coordinate to find those direction. And see, this is our function. This util function I am using in my main function. So what this function is doing is, it will first of all it will check the ij coordinate where we are calling it, and it will check whether starting from ij is there we will always call ij on when the cell has 1, right? So see here, first of all we can check it here. So we are calling it on the grid 2, that if grid 2 ij equal to 1 and it is not visited yet, and if this util is returning true, then only we will increase count plus plus. Means util is returning true that this island which is starting at this ij is actually a sub island. So let's look for util now. So what we are doing is, we are creating one queue of integer type or integer array. Integer array is nothing, just two size integer array I and j of the coordinate, and we are pushing wherever we are calling it. Let's say we are calling on a ij, so we are pushing these coordinate to this queue, and we are making this boolean array with ij equal to true. Okay, now see, this is one boolean variable for result. Initially we are making it true, we are assuming that, let's say, everything is matching. So let's say we are putting it initially res equal to true. Now what we will do is, we will pop out the things from the queue. We are taking the coordinates, okay, then we are checking that whatever coordinate we have found, is there a corresponding 0, right? In case of there is a no 1, that means we have to make the res equal to false, because if there is a corresponding 0, that means it is not the sub island, right? So that is why I am making this. So by any chance if this condition becomes, then only we will make res equal to false. Now what we are doing here is, using our this direction array, we are calculating all the 4 direction. Okay, so see here, we are calculating the coordinates of all the 4 direction. We are checking here whether they are falling in the boundaries of our grid only, and then we are checking here that for these new values, grid x, y, is there corresponding 1 in grid 2, because then only we are calling this function whenever there is a grid 2 has 1 and it is still not visited, right? Then we are adding that function, these coordinates, to the queue again, and we are making this xy as visited, means it is true. So finally what we will do, we are basically making the things visited, and we are keeping the track of whether it is a island or not in this variable res. So here we are taking this, and here we are making the visited kind of stuff, and finally we are returning this res, which is return us whether it is a truly in sub island or not. So for that reason we are checking this thing. If grid 2 ij equal to 1, if it is not visited, and if we are calling this util function, basically it is returning true. So that means if it is true, means it is sub island. That is why I am increasing count, and finally I am returning count. So let me execute this code. It is working fine, so let me try to submit it. Yeah, so it is accepted. So thank you for watching this video, and if you guys have any concern, please make a comment over there. Thank you.